What's good, everybody? I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the Am I Toxic podcast. Let's get started. So I know it's been like a month, 2 months, something like that, since I put out an episode or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of shit going on that I've been doing, trying to get everything right with this whole video concept and stuff like that. So that's enough of it. Let's go ahead and get right to the episode. So we're gonna do toxic talk, and really this whole episode that I'm about to do today is centered around what we're about to discuss on toxic talk. So basically, as y'all can see by the title, Dating with a Purpose. My toxic talk conversation is gonna be the Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey situation. Basically, as by the reports, you kind of know that I guess they ended their relationship because she didn't want to go the distance, meaning basically she didn't want to get married. I'm guessing that's what that means. So basically, like I said, the episode is going to be centered around not particularly them two, but more so that whole concept, the purpose of dating, or dating with a purpose, like I said earlier. So essentially, how I feel, my view on dating, I do feel that when you date somebody, is it the purpose to be with them in the long run? Now I'm not necessarily saying, because y'all know I don't believe in I don't want to say I don't believe in marriage, but marriage is not something that I'm going to do in my life. It's not something I see me doing. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to, or that I wouldn't be with one person for the rest of my life, because I'm cool with that. So now when it comes to me dating somebody, I look at it alright, if I'm finna date you, I have plans on being with you forever. I'm not just dating you just because I'm gonna date you for a year or two just because it's gonna be fun. I ain't never been that type of person to I'm just fucking around with you to in a relationship. If I want to just have fun and shit, I feel I should just be single instead of tagging somebody else along or whatever. They just said in the Lori and Michael B. Jordan situation, we don't necessarily know if that's what's really happening. It's just the reports. That they in a relationship because of that reason. She didn't want to go this, maybe he probably wanted to get married, which he is 30 something, she only 25 or something like that. So they got a different age gap. So he may be ready to settle down, but she may not be ready to do that. So for me, an example, like I said, when I'm dating, the person that I'm talking to, when we get into a relationship, I see me being with them for the long run. I'm not getting with them to see yeah, we gonna date for a year or so, and then just have our fun while it happens. Every time that I'm with somebody, the goal is to be with that person forever. Now, does that always happen? Of course not. My longest relationship, a year and a half. So, that's that. But yeah, so like I said, that's really what I wanted to talk about. Should people get into relationships if they don't really see themselves being with that person for the rest of their life? Or do y'all, when y'all get into relationships, do y'all feel yourselves if you with somebody and say, yeah, I can't see myself being with them, should you just immediately let them know? Or do y'all feel you should let the relationship run its course? Or like I said, if y'all meet somebody, do you meet them and say, yeah, I know this relationship not gonna last, but I'm gonna have fun with it while it lasts. Which that could be a good thing. I'm not gonna say a good thing. That could be something that some people do because it may make them feel I guess they just living in the moment. Basically, whatever happens. Fuck it is what it is. That type of situation. But like I said, I still feel you pretty much wasting your time when you do shit like that. Now you could be. It could also be a plus in the mind. Like I said, you wasting your time, you wasting another person's time. But at the same time, you could be getting that type of experience. But at the same time, instead of wasting time, y'all could be being detrimental to each other's feelings. Let's say if you're the person who wants to go the distance, but the other person in their head already know. Me, for example, let's say if I was y'all know my view on marriage. I said I'm not getting married. So, but if I meet a girl and I didn't tell her that my goal is not to be married, and we just dating, and she think in her head one day I'm gonna marry her, we got a perfect relationship, and she just think oh yeah, one day he gonna propose to me, but I've never expressed to her that's not something I would do. Even though I can be with her for the rest of my life, but I didn't express to her that I don't want to get actually married. Like, let's say hypothetically, me and the person I'm with right now she know we not getting married or whatever, so that's cool. Let's say hypothetically, if she wasn't aware, and we was together like 5 years, we're 5 years in, and she's still like, damn, this motherfucker still ain't married to me yet. And so at that point, like, I just strung her along because I didn't express in the beginning like what I really wanted. And so like now her feelings are attached. I'm still attached to her, like, as well on my side. I said we've been together 5 years, so you both still attached. But like when it's over, she gonna look at it like, damn, if you already knew this, you knew what I wanted, you didn't tell me that you didn't want to get married. I wasted 5 years of my life with you, which that is true. You know what I'm saying? So like, you fucking up. Like, even though y'all probably had like a good 5 years, or that's just the time frame that I'm just throwing out. It could be longer than that, shorter than whatever the case may be. But that's just like the time frame that I'm throwing out. Y'all probably had that good little relationship, whatever. Y'all had y'all run, good moments, bad moments, whatever. Y'all had that, and it's over. Me, in my case, I wouldn't be as hurt by the situation than like she would be, because she didn't really string me along. I strung her along. Like, I had her investing all her effort and time into something that I knew, at least in the marriage aspect, was never going to happen. She's sitting around thinking the whole time we gonna get married. So now let's jump to their situation. If that was the case, like I said, he's older, she's younger, he may be ready to settle down. Now we don't know if she don't necessarily want to get married at all, or if what the case may be. We just gonna go all through all the hypotheticals. It could be a possible situation of she may not be ready at a particular moment. Now, if it was something that he wanted to like rush into, we can talk about that. So like, when I get into the conversation, like I've had conversations with women all the time, like they feel like you should know at a certain time if you want to marry somebody. I feel like that's not true. Like, I still feel like you know when you know. So like, if it could take you 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, up and up, for you to know if you really want to marry somebody, then that's so be it. Like, just cause you know somebody else who probably got married in like a year or two after being together, doesn't mean that's gonna work for everybody. Like, or just like when I talk, I've had people, like, when it comes to like the term of like love, like, just like you in love with somebody, be in love with somebody, the way, alright, so I'll put it like this, alright. So I've been in relationships where like the person said they in love with me, love me, but I didn't necessarily feel that way. And like, we may have been together for like a certain time, and they feel like, how could you not love me after so long? But like, I'm just thinking like, just because you love me doesn't mean that I have to feel the exact same way about you, or at the exact same time. Like, we have different feelings. Like, doesn't mean I don't care about you and shit like that, but like, just cause you say you love me 6 months in, it's just hypothetical, just throwing shit out, doesn't mean that at that exact same moment I love you. It could take me time to get to that particular point. So I don't want to say that like everything has to be completely equal. And before we go any further, let me go ahead and go do a little ad. Let's pay some bills real.
Shop with the official nail junkie. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. I make custom press-ons. I mainly specialize in nail art, anime and cartoon specific, but I do all types of nail art. Anything you want, I can do. I give, the nails last anywhere between 2 weeks plus. I do give nail glue and adhesive tabs depending on how long you want it to last. If you're in a short time, use adhesive tabs. If you're no longer, use the glue. I give tip cards and instruction cards also, so you always know what to do. They are reusable, so you can use them up to 30 times as long as you follow the instruction cards. And the order can be made and shipped within a week, and shipping is always 3 to 5 days.
Okay, and getting back into it, like I was saying, like I said, we already broke down like the concept of maybe she wasn't ready at that moment, and he maybe something that he wanted to rush into. Like I said, hypothetical, or it could be maybe they had a good relationship. Let's say like marriage is something that she wants, but maybe it wasn't with him. Now, if that's the case, then I wouldn't say that she really did anything wrong, because if you don't feel like you want to marry that person, then you don't want to marry that person. And so one person can be ready for something that the other person can't. And I feel like everybody has to accept that, but at the same time, I do think that like every relationship should have a purpose. I don't think we should just be hanging around. I wouldn't say like we should date. We should just be single, which y'all probably heard like the Young Miami. She doing her shit, whatever. Like her and Didi was going back and forth. He basically like, yeah, like we single, and I mean not we single, but well, I guess technically, since he say he's single, then they both single because she dated him, whatever. Which y'all know what I'm saying. Like they're not dating, but they're still like enjoying each other's time. So like I feel like that can be something that most people should do if you're not ready to like fully commit to somebody, rather than like just have like a little fun. Or you can casually date. Date however many people you want to date. And I feel like you can still get your I ain't gonna say get your point across, but like you can still get what you want. Like you can still have your time with a person. You get to go on dates and all this stuff, but you're not necessarily like completely 100% invested into something that may not be for you. Cause nobody, like, and I mean this, I'm pretty sure nobody wants to waste their time with the person. Like with me, like I said, like I've had an ex who wanted things that I didn't want, and rather than just us continue to be together, we broke up because, like I'm telling you, I can't do what you want me to do. Now, our little situation was more so based on she wanted to have a kid or whatever, and I didn't. So she didn't have a child at first. Now, I know this sound like kind of odd or whatever because I do have another kid now. But at the time, like I only had my one daughter, and she was maybe like only like a year old at that time. And so the girl I was dating, she wanted a kid immediately, like at that particular moment. Like in my head, I wasn't thinking about having no kid ever again, or like anytime soon. Definitely not that point. So I'm like, yeah, I can't give you what you want. She wanted to get married too, like so like I already said, like it's two things that I can't do for you. Like one for sure, like I definitely want to get married, and then the kid thing, I wasn't ready to have another kid. My child was only 1 year old at the time, so I wasn't trying to have them back to back. And so rather than me just continue to just let our relationship run its course, I decided to like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave you. I don't say leave because that sounds like kind of fucked up, but yeah, so like, yeah, let's go our separate ways. Now, did have a baby this year, but a lot of shit can change in 4 years. Like I met somebody or whatever, and I mean, I still want a son, but I give up on that shit right now. I give up on it right now. I ain't trying no more. But like, yeah, so I met somebody. She didn't have a child, but I was more open to it further down the line. Like I said, that was in like 2018. It's 2022 when I had my second child. So she coming into the relationship, me already knowing ahead of time, like, yeah, she want kids. So I was kind of open to like giving her what she wanted on that aspect, and I was cool with it. So we kind of made like a compromise, I would say, because I was fine with it. Excuse me, I was fine with having another child at that point. Now, when it came to the marriage thing, before we even like got into a relationship, she already knew that that wasn't something that I was going to do, and she's fine with that. it's only been one person that I dated who wasn't cool with like the marriage thing, and that was that one girl I was telling about who wanted to have a baby as well. She was the only person who was kind of like very, very heavily on the little marriage shit. Everybody else that I've been with, my last two people that I've dated, well, I guess the person I'm with now, then the two before her, they were all aware that we weren't gonna get married, and they was fine with it. They just didn't want to feel like I'm just gonna leave them, which that wasn't the case, or I'm just like being with them just for like a little short time period. Like I said, like I made them all aware, like, yeah, I'm not going to actually marry you, but I'm gonna be with you. Let me not say I ain't saying I'm gonna be with you, but I can be with you for the rest of my life. Like I said, like, y'all know how I feel about like promising to be with somebody forever. I don't think like we should do that. Like, it sound good, but like every time that I've said this shit in like past relationships and like I end up breaking up with that person or whatever, they be like, you said you would never leave me, yada yada yada. So I feel like we shouldn't even promise motherfuckers that we gonna be with them forever, because do we really know that? Like, come on now. So like, I just feel like I should just stop making, or everybody in general should like stop making promises that you have no way of knowing if that's really like what's gonna happen. And at the same time, I want to say this too. Now this can go for both sides, but I guess it's more so like women. There could be some men who be kind of like ready to like rush into marriage. I ain't gonna say rush into marriage. Who could be ready to get to the marriage state, and a woman may not be ready. But I know so like ready for marriage is more so of a woman's thing. Like, women are ready to be wives rather than like a dude says he wants to be a husband, I would say. So like, yeah, that's what I'm just gonna say about this topic, and then we're gonna talk about some other shit. Yeah, so I just feel like everybody needs to start dating with the purpose. Like, it's cool to have fun with, like, when you date somebody and y'all feelings about, you want to be in love with somebody, definitely make sure everything y'all want like aligns together. Like, where you want to live for yourself, like what you, all that type of shit. Like, if your person want to like travel the world, you not somebody that want to travel the world, y'all not gonna work. The number of kids y'all want, there's a whole bunch of different stuff. Like, you gotta make sure that everything, somebody that you want to be with for the rest of your life, everything has to align. Y'all have to be like, I don't want to say like the perfect match, but like in order for things to work out, or where that one person isn't settling, or you don't have to constantly have to like compromise something that you want, or they don't have to compromise something that they want. Both sides should be in agreement with everything that they want to happen in their lives. So like, I always say that do all of that in the beginning stages of like your relationships. Now, y'all probably listen to this shit like, this motherfucker ain't had a relationship more than like a year and a half. Why is he giving like out of advice? Now, which that could be true. I feel like I get good relationship advice. It's just that like my relationships don't be working for other reasons. It don't be because we don't agree on each other. Like I said, like me and the people I've been in, we be agreeing on like our life goals, plans, yada yada yada, whatever. But we just be having like relationship problems, like arguing and shit like that. To like, you know, it just be like bullshit, be like BS stuff. It'll be stuff to where like we just can't agree on like what we want for our future. Like, and that's another thing too. Like I said, like what y'all want in the future plays a big part too, as well as like what you want in a relationship. So we'll do another ad real quick, and then we're gonna get right back into it. So, second part of this episode, we're gonna be talking about ultimatums. I want to talk about a little bit about the show on Netflix. Now, this is gonna be a spoiler if you haven't seen it, but we're gonna talk about ultimatums first, and then like a portion of it's gonna be like the show on Netflix called Ultimatums. Y'all need to watch that shit. The shit is like, it's good. Now, if you got like a bad relationship, don't watch that shit with your partner. I'm gonna let you know right now. Do not watch that shit with your partner. Y'all gonna be questioning each other and shit like that, or she might question you, you might question her. Just, I would say, don't watch it with your partner. Unless you feel like y'all can handle it more. Alright, so basically, ultimatums. My view on them, I feel that they can be like useful, they can be helpful, because you should have the right to basically be with somebody who wants what you want, or another way of saying it, you should get what you want in relationships. So if a person can't give you that and you tell them like, yeah, I want this, or I can't be with you, I feel like that's an acceptable thing to do, because why settle? Like, I don't feel like anybody should settle. So like, that's basically like my viewpoint on ultimatums. I do feel like they are useful, they're helpful, basically in weighing out like what you want. Now, I will say that I don't feel like you should give them like later in the relationship. Like I said, yeah, everybody should just be expressing like openly about what they want in the beginning of relationships, and I feel like that shit, you can give like the ultimatum. I don't feel like everything is actually an ultimatum. You can basically just be like, this is what I want. So, but you can call it what you want. So I feel like you just saying like your wants and your needs, or something like that you absolutely won't go for, or something like that you absolutely want. So, next thing is going to be, this is going to be like a two-person thing. I'm going to kind of like wing this shit by myself. So like, have I ever been given one or given one? Like I said, like y'all heard earlier, the kid thing with that one girl. She wanted a kid, I didn't, and I don't know who really say we. I guess we both gave each other an ultimatum or something like that, because I said I wasn't gonna have one, so we wasn't gonna be together, and she wanted one, or we wasn't gonna be together. So that was that. We both, I guess, kind of gave each other one. It was more so her than me. I was just saying like, I'm not doing it. Like, we didn't agree on it, so that was that. Now I ain't gonna lie, like I have dated somebody who smoked, whatever, or so I was like, I just can't be with you when you're smoking. So like, that's an ultimatum, ultimatum that I've kind of like given. Like, you continue to do this, I'm not gonna be with you. That's just because like I'm not attracted to it or whatever. Like, it's not something that I like. So that was it. But I haven't really given like no crazy ones. Now, all the times in my relationship, I definitely tell people all the time that I'm dating like, you ain't gotta be with me. I don't feel like I'm giving them an ultimatum. I'm just saying like, I do be kind of telling people like to accept me like how I am. Like, it's just me. Like, it is what it is. So like, you can either deal with it or not be with me. So if y'all feel like that's ultimatum, then I guess I give them just all the time. Like, cause that's how I just feel. Like, in my relationship, like, you either gonna deal with me how I am, and then that's just gonna be it. For real. So this thing says that, do I think relationships can work if one party doesn't accept the ultimatum that's given? I'm 50-50 on it. Like, I believe that they possibly could work if it's not like a crazy. If like the person who's giving the ultimatum, if it is something that they could possibly go without. Like, I do feel like it could work if that ultimatum isn't accepted. So like, for my example, like when the girl wanted to have the kid with me, if she would have been okay with just having my daughter as like the kid in her life, it isn't physically her kid, but like, it would have been the kid in her life. Like, if she was just cool with that, then okay, maybe we could have been together. Like, but if she was so bent on like, she has to have a child, that's something that she wants in her life, then, and I couldn't give her that, the relationship wouldn't have worked. So, like I said, it's more so based on like the person who's given the ultimatum. Like, if they can accept, if their partner doesn't agree to whatever they want to do. Like if it's a woman or a guy, if it's a person in a relationship who wants to get married and the other person doesn't. Like in my relationship, shit, I'm pretty sure out of every girl I met wanted to get married, but they all accepted that that wasn't going to happen. So, like I said, if we could still have our relationship, so like I said, it can work. It's possible because I'm proof. Like basically, my relationships are proof that the shit can work. Like I'm not about to marry none of them, but they was cool with that. So, or you can just have like a whole bunch of different shit. Like y'all can have like different like religious views or something like that. You may be able to accept your person having like a different religion, or you may not be able to accept your person having like a different religion. It just depends on what y'all want. But I do think if the person who's giving it, if they can accept that they may not get what they want in the end and they can still be happy with you, I feel like it can work. Do I feel that all disagreements are pretty much ultimatums? It could be 50-50 once again. Because like I said with me, like I say all the time, like you either gonna deal with me how I am or you're not gonna deal with me. If that sounds like an ultimatum, then that's what it is. But like it be disagreements that we have going on. Maybe I do something, or maybe I don't do enough of something, and the person doesn't like that. And so I'm basically telling them like, it's just me. Like if you gonna be with me, then this gonna come with it. So, or let's just say like hypothetically, if a woman meets a dude who he cheats basically, or he wants to every now and then sleep with somebody else, and that's what he want to do, then he telling her like, yeah, like I can be with you, whatever, but in order for you to be with me, you just gonna have to know that this is what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna go out and sleep with other people, so you can either accept it or not. So like, just is what it is. So like I feel like it just gotta be something that the person wanna do. Do I think that ultimatums are beneficial or detrimental to relationships? They can be both. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be beneficial because you can, like I said, you're weighing out the good from the bad. I ain't gonna say the good from the bad, but you know, like you're making it know like what you want, and you'll know if the other person is willing to like give you what you want to make you happy. If they don't, then I'm not gonna say they really don't want to be with you, but they just don't want to do what you want them to do. But it can also be detrimental as well, because you can have like a perfect relationship, but it can be like one little thing. Like for me, like I said, like my relationship was good, but I didn't want to marry them or somebody, and that person really wanted to get married, and I didn't want to do that for them. But everything else inside our relationship was good. Then that's that. Let's take a break, and we're gonna get into an actual example of something that happened in that's happening currently in my relationship actually. We're gonna get back into it. Like I was saying, something that actually happened in my current relationship right now. So like, I've been with my girlfriend now going on a year. Today I shot this on June 11th. It'll probably drop today as well. Like yesterday was like our year together basically, and so we had a conversation maybe like a couple weeks ago about like being in love and like loving people and stuff like that. And so we kind of had a point to where like, well, I done told her like I felt that I've never been in love before, and basically how I view being in love, what I think being in love is. I basically explained to her like, I think that being in love, in my opinion, is when I feel like I can't be without that person. If I don't have that person, then I can't focus without them. Like I'm unhappy if that person isn't in my life. And I said that I haven't felt that with nobody that I've been with yet. And she basically was like, do you think you can ever get to that? I said, I feel like I can, it just hasn't happened yet. And then we also was talking about like how, so basically, like right now in our current relationship, like I said, we've been together a year. I know that she loves me, basically. Like she told me before, but she be saying like she kind of aware that I don't love her. Like not to sound like fucked up, but I just like I care about her. But I can't even say that I love her, and I know I'm not in love with her. And she always say like, I feel like, or she knows that I'm a person. She knows how independent I am, basically. And I always feel like that I don't need like nobody, which it is true. Like I can't help that I feel that way, but I just feel like I don't need like another person in my life to like make me happy, basically. Like I'm so like happy with myself, like with everything else. Like I can be so good, like single or like alone, to where like I don't really need to have a person to lay with every night, and I can still be fine. Like that's not gonna hurt me, because most of the shit that I do for like entertainment, I do by myself. Like I like working out. Even this podcast, like I can do this shit by myself, and I still have like a good time. I like playing the game. Like I'm not so more of a person who likes to go on dates. Like I do dates. I'm not saying I don't like them. Like it's cool. But it's not gonna be. I don't wanna be sitting around there like I wish I had a person to do this to me. Like when I'm single, like I don't be wishing to like, damn, I wish I could do this. Like I'd be cool without this. So like, and then like a lot of stuff that I can do, like I can do for myself. So I don't feel like I need you. Like yes, you can come to my life, you can make shit easier for me, but I don't feel like I need you in my life to do those things. Like I appreciate what you do for me and stuff like that. Like anybody. So that was just some of our conversation that we had, and yeah, so she basically, and we got to another point, she was like, she kind of mentioned it like, they said like, I don't know why 5 years is always like, for like a long time, but I guess like 5 years is a long time to be with somebody. But so there was like a time period that we got to in our discussion, she was like, so it's kind of like, in 5 years, if you're not in love with me, like, why would I want to be with somebody who's not in love with me or feel like they can be happy out without me? I'm just like, I mean, if that's what it is, then so be it. But I feel like it's all that's so like you would possibly like when our relationship to be over, if down the line I still feel like I'm not in love with you. And she was kind of like basically like yeah, at the same time no. So I'm like, if we got a perfect relationship, if we got a perfect relationship, and you ask me, am I in love with you? And I say, no, I can't help that I'm not in love with you. Whether you feel differently, like your feelings are your feelings, my feelings are my feelings. Like, doesn't mean like I don't care about you or whatever. And so, like I said, like she basically was just saying like, their relationship has to be over, which I kind of feel like it was kind of weird, whatever. But like I said, that's her opinion, so like she obligated to feel that way, so that's fine. But I'm just like, shit, if we got a perfect relationship and there's no problem in there, but the only thing is missing that I feel like I'm not in love with you, or that I feel like I can be with you, be without you, and like be happy without you, even 5 years down the line, then I don't see what's the problem. Like I just can't help that I don't feel that way about people. Like I feel like I can be cool without like anybody in my life. Like, and I was gonna tell her like, I feel like you should feel the same way. Like you should base like your happiness or like your, what do you say, happiness on another person that you with, basically. Because like motherfuckers can hurt you, and me, like I ain't been hurt yet, and I ain't trying to get to that point to where somebody can hurt me. Like I don't know what the fuck I would do. Like if I got to a point to where like, it's like I didn't invest all my like time, effort, like I'm in love with this person, like I'm crazy about this person, like damn, what I'm gonna do without her? Like you see, I be thinking that's how motherfuckers be get killed. Like you mean tell me like I done be with you, whatever, and I'm like feel like you're the best person in the fucking world, and then you do something to like fuck me over, I feel like I'm gonna hurt you. Like I really do. Like, cause I hate, like I'm saying, like I haven't experienced it and I don't want to experience that. So I kind of be like, I don't want to say I still invest into my relationships, of course, but like I said, like, I still don't. I ain't trying to get hurt. I can't. I see what other people go through, and I be like, I can't do what y'all do. Like, when y'all be getting cheated on. Imagine you say you love somebody and they cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? Like you in love with somebody and they hurt you. Like, how the fuck? Cause you knew me like that. So that's how I'm thinking about everything. So like, I didn't been doing all this shit for you. Cause like when y'all been in a relationship before, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all get to the end, it's kind of like when it's over and you sit back and think about all the shit that you done wasted your time doing with that person for them motherfuckers to fuck you over. Like now, ain't nobody really like did no fucked up shit to me like relationship. But like, I be sitting back thinking like, I wasted all my motherfucking money on this person. Like I didn't waste all my fucking time with this person, or you know, I could have been doing X, Y, Z with another motherfucker instead of you, and you got the nerve to fucking like hurt me or do like some fucked up shit to me. Like I be pissed off when my relationships be over. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, granted, it be me that be over, but I be just like, I really wasted so much of my time. I could have been doing so much shit. I could have had so much more freedom of like just being alone. Because that's ultimately what it is. Like when I'm by myself, it's peaceful. Like you don't really have to like do much, which I don't get why people don't be understanding. Like when I be telling them that, like the amount of peace like that I have in my life, like when I'm single, and like for you to get mad at me because I'm like I don't want to argue with you, I don't want to have like disagreements. I understand relationships aren't perfect. But I want my shit as close to perfect as I can get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't see like a problem with that. Like, I feel like if I can be so much happier by myself, why should I settle for what we have going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking about like right now, I'm just talking about like with anybody, just like any relationship. Like, if I don't have to deal with shit, like if we arguing every day, motherfucker, if I'm single, I don't have to argue with you. Or kind of like when I feel like I have like y'all heard me say it before in like past episodes, but if it's your first time hearing, I'm just gonna say it again. Like I feel like I'm a better friend than I may be as a boyfriend, because like as a friend with me, I'm not arguing with my friends. I don't have to. I can just really stop talking to you. Now, I do the same thing like my relationships too, but you kind of have to put like forth more effort. Like you have to do more shit in a relationship than you do as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get into it with my friend, I've never really got into it with my friends. Like because like what are we really arguing about? Like I'm not about to argue with you. We're not about to get into it about something. Like there's no point. Like in relationships, like my friends, like my best friend, she ain't never made me mad. Like the entire like 6-7 years that I've known her, that we've been friends, she ain't never did shit to make me mad. But like someone that I be with like a couple months, but if I'm arguing with you, like for what? I don't want to do that. Like I can have so much peace without you in my life. So you know what I'm saying? Like me being friends with somebody, I feel like it's better than being in a relationship as well. But like what I'm saying, like I just feel like if you're not bringing peace in my life, it's no reason for us to really date. Yeah, and that's just that. Making sure, like, so another thing, like, do I think people are actually against ultimatums, or it is more of them not really wanting to be like with that person? I'm gonna say, when it comes to ultimatums, I do think it's more so about people really don't want those things. I don't really think it has something to do with the person. Now, sometimes it could be that because you may not want to tell a motherfucker like, oh, I really don't want to hear. Like, it's you. Like, because sometimes you don't want to tell a person like they not who they think they are, or I'm not saying they're not who they think they are, but like you don't really want to be with them for the long haul, which that should be fine. So now, like I said, this is a spoiler alert. if you haven't seen the show on Netflix called Ultimatums, it's gonna be something about that. I probably would look this shit up again. It's like really get the motherfucking cast members' name and shit like that. Alright, so first thing, like I said, this was gonna be something I was gonna do with somebody else who actually like watch the show with me or whatever, but I'm just reading this shit by myself. So like my overall like opinion of like the show. So basically, breakdown. Ultimately, the show, I think it was like maybe 6 couples who one part of their relationship gave another one an ultimatum. A lot of it was more so based on like marriage, and some of it was based on like kids and stuff like that. So that's basically what it is. And you go there for, I think it was 6 weeks. You're there for 6 weeks. When you get there, you and your partner meet, or y'all go on like speed dates with like the other people. So it was 6 dudes, 6 girls. I think it was 12 people total, yeah, or 6 couples. Yeah, so y'all do that. Y'all go there. You know what I'm saying? You kind of have like a little speed date where when you go meet all the other people, maybe tell them like what you want, or if you're the person that gave the ultimatum, shit like that. Basically, y'all just say like why y'all here, your reason for being on the show. So it's also like that. Everybody kind of like find somebody that they kind of click with. Let me look up this woman's name because she was somebody on the show who I didn't really like whatever. Let me see the cast. Oh, okay. I think. Okay. Yeah. So. All right. So next question. Who was my favorite character? Who was my least favorite? So my favorite character on the show would probably be. I like Lauren. Like she wasn't really on that long because. Which I'm gonna get into that. So my favorite probably was like Lauren. She was kind of cool. Like really, she looked good. And then as far as like the people who stayed on the show, like not like in a attractive way, this shit gay or whatever. Like dude wise, like I feel like the Zay dude was kind of like he be kind of like acting like me, so I be kind of understand like some shit that he was going through in the show. So like, yeah, y'all seem like Zay was kind of cool with me, so like I feel like me and him like act the same way or some shit. So my least favorite character was this girl named Alexis. Like Alexis was just like bitch on the show the entire time. Like when they was doing like a little speed dating around or whatever, there was this one dude named Kobe. He was basically, she asked her like, or he didn't really want to get to know her because he just said it's somebody he wants to see him dating. But she kind of brought up like money or something like that, and that instantly like turned him off. And then she was kind of like, to me, she was ugly. Like I didn't like her at all. But yeah, so like the entire time of the day, she kind of had feelings for her because she felt like he was being rude to her. Like, bitch, but he don't like you, don't like you. Like you can't make somebody think that you're attracted. You're not attracted to them, and that's what it is. So. But yeah, like, if y'all see this shit, y'all know like she just like extra as fuck. I did kind of like I think her name is Shanique. Yeah, Shanique. I ain't like her either. Like she kind of like she's kind of bitchy too. Like she all do what I say and shit like that. And I don't like. That's not the type of person that I want to be with either. So she was like my next one. Oh, this dude Randall, he was cool too on the show. Madeline, she was cool. At first I kind of didn't like April because she kind of talked a lot. She like ran off all the time. And she was kind of like a do what I say type of person as well. The dude Jake, he was cool as well. Now, next thing is like, would I ever go on the show? Hell no. Like, I don't see the purpose of going on the show. Like, you kind of basically going on to say like, would you, or you kind of want to date other people. Like, I know y'all going on there to see like if you can find happiness with somebody else, but I feel like if you going on the show to meet other people who you could possibly fall for, let's say like if you're the person who it's different sizes. It's like if you're the person who's giving an ultimatum, it's good for you, but it can also be bad. Like, if you going on there with your partner, which I don't see shit like some of the people who put their dudes on there to go on there with ultimatums, they couldn't handle them motherfuckers being with another person, joking, laughing with another bitch. Ladies, how many of y'all can handle like you tell your dude like, yeah, either marry me or I'm not gonna be with you. Y'all go on the show together, and then he meet another bitch and he just over there laughing. Now, granted, the first 3 weeks that they get there, they gonna be living with another person. Like, you gonna be catching feelings for like that other person. So, what the fuck you think gonna happen? And then at the second part, you then go back and start being with the dude that you with too, as well. So, then you basically 3 weeks you with the new person that you meet. Then you go back and be with the other person for another 3 weeks. So that's pretty much like basically the show. So if you already not comfortable in a relationship, you can't handle your person dating somebody else, because you won't catch feelings for somebody if you already connected. Because like on the show, like after everybody that kind of met everybody, you kind of get to pick which person that you want, which person that you whatever. And if y'all both have a vibe, y'all pick each other, then that's gonna be your fake wife or a fake husband for 3 weeks. They live together, like they sleep in the same bed, they gonna be doing dates, like the people that's meeting each other, families and shit like that. So you kind of can genuinely get feelings for a person if you connect. Like it's gonna be one couple on there, I ain't saying one couple, but like the dude Jake and the dude April, they didn't find people to basically have a fake marriage with, so they kind of got stuck with each other because they partners that they went under with found somebody else, and then so they just got stuck with each other. So they were much like friends. They kind of was connected towards the end or whatever. And it was kind of like the same thing with this dude Zay and Shanika. Cause Zay's girlfriend Ray, her and this other dude like Jake, they kind of like hit it off immediately. Like they was just everything they both wanted to be and shit like that. So they was a couple. So one thing I had a question about was like, do I think that the partners had a right to be upset about their people, being the people considering that they brought them on the show? I feel like, no, what the fuck you mad for? If you knew this what you was getting to, like, I feel like you have no business to be mad. I feel like it's a dumb part if you know you can't handle that to bring somebody on the show doing something that you know that you're not ready to see. Like, kind of like people who do like threesomes and shit. Like, if you know you can't handle your partner having sex with another person, why the fuck would you agree to it? Even if you feel like it will make them happy. Like, you just set yourself up for something that you're not ready for. I don't know if I've ever seen that meme with like, I guess the people started threesome. Like, you can't really like see that or whatever. Like, it's kind of like pictures and words, like covering up the people naked body. Or, like, it's a girl standing like with her mouth like this while her dude having sex with somebody else. I'm assuming it's the person with threesome, so like the girlfriend watching it. Is there anyone on the show who I thought should be together? I would possibly say like I thought like I said, Jake and Ray, they was cool. But that was pretty much it. Like, they probably like the only people I feel like they had like a little fake shit, whatever, who possibly could have been together because they was cool. Randall and Madeline, they had their moments, whatever, but I kind of feel like they possibly could have been together. They would have been straight. Now, skipping to, well, we're going to talk about this anyway. I guess we're going to skip to like how it all turned out. So, this one dude, Zay, And his original girlfriend, Ray, like I said, Ray started fucking with this dude named Jake for the 3 weeks. That's who she was with. And then Zay was with this girl, Shanique, whatever her name was, yeah. This girl, Shanique. They both black. If y'all need to know, like, skin color of the people, whatever. So, that was their fake relationships and shit. And so, Zay and his girlfriend Ray, when they got their 3 weeks back together after they had both been with like the other person, like I said, the couple get back with their actual real partners for 3 weeks to see if they really still want to be with them. Because at the end of 3 weeks, like you make a decision, like do you want to be with your person that you came in with or not? And so that's what happened basically. So Ray and Zay got into an argument because supposedly I think he had found like some sex toys or something in the bag, whatever. And so like he was upset about it. So he went to like the club and well he went out. I guess he went to the club. He went out with some friends and he didn't come home until like 8 o'clock in the morning or some shit like that. And so she was upset about that. She kind of like she didn't want to be with him no more after that. And so the little question I had wrote down was like, what's he going to like then? Like we talked about somebody else. So but I'm just speaking like out there. Like to me, he was on like his phone now. He passed out at a friend's house or whatever. So he said like, and it never came out like that he cheated on her. So I'm guessing that's what really happened or whatever. But so that was that, and then I'm not a girl. Now my girl went out after we got into a fight, and she was out all night. She didn't come home until in the morning. I'll probably be mad. So like I want to say like he definitely was wrong. Like he wouldn't call her back or whatever. Like he had turned his location off and shit. So he was kind of like feel like he was mad as fuck. But like man, about him, like I don't understand because like when I be mad as fuck, like I don't be saying nothing. I don't be texting back. I don't be talking. Like leave me the fuck alone. So that's so I can kind of understand. Like I probably I just need my time with it. I sleep around with people, something like whatever. I just want to. So another thing I'm gonna talk about, and then I'm gonna probably talk about a little bit more. I'm gonna end this episode for the day. There was this one couple on there named, or this one couple. There was a dude named Nate, and he had a girlfriend named Lauren. The ultimatum was, I think he gave it to her because he wanted to have kids and she didn't want to have kids. So they went on a show for that. So basically, like I said in the beginning, everybody basically sits with another person basically to like what they want. Every person that he was with, he was telling everybody, hey, I want to have kids basically. That's what he wants. That's why he's there. He brought her on the show because that's not something that she wants to do. Like she isn't ready to be a mom. She doesn't want to be a mom. She don't really like kids, but yeah. So when everybody was choosing their partners basically before they split up for like 3 weeks, Nate saw that this one dude named Kobe, because Kobe and the girl Lauren, they kind of connected on the way or whatever, and he was basically saying that he was going to choose her, and the dude Nate knew that Kobe was going to choose his girlfriend, and he knew that they kind of liked each other, so he possibly felt like, so I kind of, when y'all see the show, y'all need to watch it to me, like see it like everything in detail, like so they choose the part and he's coming up and be like, yeah, I chose her. And so before he was about to do that, the dude Nate got up and proposed to the girl Lauren. Now, she never told him that she wanted to have kids like that, because like I said, what they came there for, they never really got. So they didn't ever do the 3 weeks with another person because he proposed to her at that time and he kind of like, yeah, I'm cool with it. But he actively still wanted kids. Because like even right before he chose her, he had told this other girl named Madeline, he was like, hey, I'm gonna pick you. Because he kind of wanted to be with her. But he was scared that this other dude get with his girl, because he kind of probably felt like he was going to do about one fucking girlfriend or whatever. Whether they was going to hit it off and she won't work or want to be with him. He was like, yeah, I can be okay with you not having kids. Which we all knew was like watching the show. Like, He just did it because the other nigga was gonna take his girl. But so that's how I feel like. I don't feel like he really wanted to marry. Like, he did want to marry her, but I don't feel like their ultimatum problem being solved because one of the kids actually got solved. Like, now they do like a reunion show, like catch up, whatever. I don't know how much time it is after that or whatever, but when they get on the show, they still haven't had kids. They still haven't found out. So they still really didn't get solved like what they were gonna do. She was still unsure. Well, she was still not saying that she wanted to have kids, and he still kind of wanted to have kids, and they never got married yet either, I don't think. So that was that. A lot of other shit happened. Oh, now as far as the couples, I'm spoiling the show for y'all, so you want to watch it. Please stop listening to this, but if you just want to listen to me talk about it, you still want to watch it, cool. As far as like the couples, who started there, did they leave the people who came with April and Jake. They didn't stay together after the show. The dude Jake and Ray, like I said, they had connected with them. They kind of tried to date, but it didn't work out with her. So, but the girl Ray and the dude Zay, who they originally came with together, I think they tried to work it out after the show. Like I said, they had broken up yesterday around night. But when they were doing the ultimatum, at the end of the show, her and Jake were going to try to like be in a relationship at that point. Zanique and Randall, after he was with the girl Madeline, and he had to make a decision like, if he wanted to get back with his girlfriend Shanique, he did stay with his girlfriend. He actually proposed to her. The dude, Madeline and Kobe, they proposed. Y'all see them on the reunion. She ended up pregnant actually. Like, they got married on the show. Like, he proposed to her. He was like, yeah, I don't even wait to like do it. Like, let's get married like right now. So they got married on the show actually. The one girl, I think it was Hunter, and the girl outside there, like Alexis. Like I said, they didn't actually do the show because he actually proposed to his girlfriend as well at the table because like nobody chose her, nobody wanted to be with her, so she was just gonna be left out. And him, I think somebody chose Hunter, but he didn't really want to be there. She kind of did. So yeah, that was their basically their dilemma. And another thing about the Nate dude, like I said, he married to his girlfriend. He proposed to his girlfriend after the other dude, Hunter, had already proposed to Alexis. Like, so it was kind of like, yeah, you just copying what he doing. Like, you didn't really want to marry her. So like, we all knew it was kind of like, we all kind of felt like it was fake. Well, at least me and my girlfriend didn't. We were watching, like, this motherfucker really want to marry her. So yeah, that's probably like as much time we give y'all about the show and like ultimatum and all that. I'm gonna end this episode. Like I said, this has been another episode of Am I Toxic Podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Definitely like continue like. I'm gonna try to put this on YouTube for y'all as well, so y'all can see this shit. I'm gonna do the audio studio. Like, leave y'all comments, whatever. Y'all can send me some questions. Like, follow me on Instagram at OG and Twitter. It's OG.AATWAN. Follow the podcast page as well at am.i.toxic.pod. am.i.toxic.pod on Instagram. Yeah. Y'all enjoy it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We out.